Hello everybody, welcome to the first video of Thursday. Now, before we get into the fun stuff at the latter point of today, we got to talk about something. We got to talk about several things. So I didn't cover this yesterday. I didn't talk about it yesterday because there was new update information to go over, and that's what was out on the channel. Go and check out yesterday's videos. But we've got to talk about the loyalty store and the glory store. So let's kind of talk about the good and the bad and the ugly, which I think, well, no, it's good and the ugly. So let's go with the good. So first of all, as a lot of you know, there's been a buff to Alliance Wars Season Rewards, which is actually really good. I'm happy to see that this is going to be a changing in the future. It's a very substantial change when it comes to rewards. Like, you look on screen right now and it's like, okay, that's the new one. Compared with the old one or the season that had just gone, you're seeing like some major gains. So this is from currently, which sees for people that are in Master, Tier 3 Alpha Catalyst Fragments total of 11,200, even scooting down to kind of Master, Platinum 1, Platinum 2, Platinum 3. Hey, are you getting Tier 3 Alpha and Tier 6 Basics? You're not. You're not getting any snifter of any of that for your hard-earned effort. But flash forward, well, mainly Platinum 2, sorry. And flash forward, what is in the next season is that Platinum 2 now will share in the spoils and get a lot more of things like 6-star shards. I mean, look here, like Platinum 2, 30,000 6-star shards. That's a massive change in the meta compared with how it is right now, where Platinum 2 would only receive 17,500. So it's like it's gone up just under half. But still, that's a massive jump up from where it was then to where it is now. Also, when it comes to selectors, like you're getting like a lot more selectors the further you go down the pecking order, which again is fantastic. 4 selectors for the highest point of Master, and Platinum 1 still getting like, you know, a selector. This is interesting to me. This is the time when I kind of feel like have Kabam shifted their current meta of rewards. Excuse me. And will this kind of like shape the form of July 4th? That's the thing that kind of like concerns me a little bit, that Kabam are willing to kind of put in this amount into rewards that you can grind. It also puts a little bit more of an interest into Alliance Wars to a degree. Although if you're looking for potions and revives and things, then you might be disappointed down the line. We'll talk about that in a second. But still, you know, to see the big shift. I mean, let's have a look at like where gold is, because that's a big kind of like test as well to those that do Alliance Wars. So currently in game, gold 3, gold 2 and gold 1, 10,000 is the most you get, like a gold 1. Now, under the new scheme, it's a case that those that are in Gold 2 will see themselves get a fully formed 6-star champion every season, which again is fantastic. And the same thing with the volume of Tier 5 Basic has been buffed up as well. One of the big things that I did talk about quite recently is that Tier 5 Basic doesn't seem to be... I mean, look, it's not a huge amount, but it's just like 1. But it's like, it's good that at least Kabam have kind of added into there on those. And I think one of the major things, I think you'll probably have noticed, is Kabam have now decided to put Tier 2 Alpha back into Alliance Wars. So, hey, you know, this is actually really good, really positive. Even so when it comes to like the Glory Store. But yeah, like that's one good bit of news, and it's not a case that like we're going to be covering like all of positive, but I think it's important to grab as many positives out of a Kabam situation as possible when it comes to like situations where it does affect getting to these points. And dying may be a very costly thing in Alliance Wars, especially when it comes to potions. But as I said, we'll go on to that in a minute. Now, the good news, because I said we're going to do good news, and then was kind of cover the bad news side of things. Second bit of good news is the Glory Store. The Glory Store looks like it's been revamped, as it says right here. Replaced Alliance health potions with... Well, hang on, no, we'll cover that in a minute, because that's part of the bad news. The good news, okay. So pre-uncollected, they've reduced the price of Tier 2 Class Catalyst 90 to 80, Tier 3 Class Catalyst 150 to 120, reduced price of Tier 1 Alpha and Tier 4 CC, nice, and increased Tier 2 Alpha per purchase from 10% to 30%, prices remain the same. And Uncollected and Cavalier, see reduced prices for Tier 4 Basic and Tier 1 Alpha, and also reduced price for Tier 4 CC, Tier 4 CC Crystals, exchange. They've been increased to 7, and tier 2 alpha per purchase from 40% to 50% remain the same price, and tier 5 basic and increased purchase limit to 10, which then you can all see the same with when it comes to Thronebreaker, whereas tier 5 CC increased purchase limit to 2, so that's changed. Tier 5 Basic has increased purchase limit to 10. Tier 4 CC has increased purchase limit to 7. Tier 4 CC Class Fragments has been reduced. And Tier 2 Alpha, Tier 4 Basic, and Tier 1 Alpha has had a price reduction as well. Let's visually look at this now and see like how this looks. And this is great. I mean, for me, as a lot of you know, I go through Tier 5 Basics a lot. I personally would either like a higher volume that you could grab or a lower cost, to be brutally honest. So yeah, I can pick up 67,000 for the price of okay. So I thought I was gonna be like really happy about this and really feel this is like ridiculously good news. But I do think there should be a higher volume available, especially with the extent of like how quickly you go through them. Yes, I'm doing Act 7. Yes, I'll get a load, but it's like, well, reoccurring, like, is this the reoccurring thing that I need? Is this going to take a huge amount of glory? Do Kabam increase the glory that you're able to get? That's going to have to be another kind of thing to this. Tier 4 class catalyst, I always seem to find myself needing lots more of that, but again, if I'm doing that and that, where it's the tier 5 basic and the tier 4 class catalyst, that's going to be what, like a 6,000 plus 2,000. So that's going to basically mean I will have to have 8,000 glory a week for that. And then if I want any tier 2 alpha on top of it, that is still going to set me back quite a huge chunk as well. So I have to guarantee that I will have 10,000 plus glory a week, or per AQ cycle. So you know, you have to really balance your books. You have to budget yourself when it comes to glory spent and what you're kind of looking to grab from it. The tier 1 alpha side of things, I get that more than anything, but it's I'm sure it's fine on that. It's just, as I said, budgeting your costs seems to be the most important thing. But I'm happy to see there's more chance to get more volume, and yeah, that's really it. And now on to the bad. The bad is the new potion system that Kabam have put in for Alliance Wars and Alliance Quest. No longer can you use that one singular Alliance-based one and use it between both modes. That's the big sad. So it does force you a narrative to respend your loyalty. And I don't know what metrics, maybe Kabam have seen like the data, know that a lot of people have a load of loyalty. I mean, for me personally, I'm saving up for my second awakening of that Unstoppable Colossus. But, you know, a lot of people, I suppose, the higher up you go, will reinvest in their grind. Maybe you're kind of like reviving after a death. And the sad thing is, you can't die in Alliance Wars without causing anybody else in your alliance frustration about the performance of everything and hope that the enemy make mistakes. But in any case, changes are being made, well, they have been already in game. And as it says right here, coming with AQ Season 9.5, we're looking to let players get more access to Alliance Wars specific potions. We're reducing the store reset from every 2 weeks to once a week, introducing level 4 team single Alliance Wars health potions in store, reducing the price of level 2 and 3 Alliance Wars team revives on store, and Alliance Wars team revives level 2 you know, reduction in cost. So they've kind of looked after us based on that, but it does bring up a lot of questions about the extent of, was this something that players wanted to see or not? I mean, most commonly in the space of the last less than 24 hours, I've seen more people say they'd be interested with just having the older type of health potion and maybe a reduced cost in the revive in any case. But let's have a look at like some of the thoughts and opinions of players on it. There's a really cool relevant take about the extent of how much loyalty you get. I think it's something I mentioned briefly a moment ago, and the reinvestment, it does seem problematic. Fenico says here, as mentioned above, we'll see how it is regarding potions for loyalty, but I think it's worth looking into the amounts of loyalty we get. If we ignore compensation packages, and that's important because we're not going to get compensation packages forever from alliance-based needs, which we won't get. We're getting forever. He says that, and we can't get 1k. We can only get 1k loyalty every day for alliance help, and a few extra thousand every other day in war. This was barely enough to cover alliance wars and class boosts. How are we supposed to buy the potions as well? And, you know, Zano chimes in and says, unfortunately, I don't see any mention of any increase in loyalty, and that is what worries me. So, like, that's really where that kind of comes in with it. What's that? Like, per week, 7 days, 7,000 loyalty a week. It resets on a 2-weekly basis or weekly basis. What can you afford? The level 2 Alliance Wars health potion. Is that it? Is that what you can afford once a week? It's definitely reset on a weekly basis. 13 days. Oh, it's 2 weekly. I stand corrected. That's even, well, it's 14,000 there. You can grab one of them, and then have a little bit left over to buy, I don't know, a couple of level 1s. That's just the problem, isn't it? Looking at how you invest that loyalty, and I know there will be people that will be fine with this, and they'll be able to understand how they're investing their loyalty based on maybe not even touching their loyalty because they're highly skilled. But there will be those that will go like, well, you know, I need to use revives and health potions, and the volume of loyalty to what you invest back into it is going to be the problematic element to this, and something, you know, Kabam would have to address per war, how much extra loyalty you are able to get and boost it to cover this problem, because people might use the glory store, or would have past tense, would have used the glory store to reinvest in their Alliance Wars grind. So yeah, it's scuppered a lot of players, which is not very good. This is a very interesting thing right here. So this is this bar graph. So the piggy puts, this is where we are 5 years with no adjustment, 1 death, and it's over. Aside from not buffing potions, they've removed altogether from the glory store, and now use a rarer currency, cost 20k loyalty each, heal for 9.5k health, and we can only buy 2 potions every 2 weeks. We don't get enough loyalty to maintain this. It's too expensive and doesn't heal enough, and we can't buy enough. I'm not 100% sure how this is. Let's have a quick look here on this bar graph. So it says number of 6k potions needed to revive a max boosted champion. And as you've seen with the different types of rarity of champions on the screen at the bottom versus the top and the potions, it's kind of like, yes, the item cap remains the same as the number of items to get the 6-star up at rank 4 to be healed is boosted. So always very interesting seeing this, and that's definitely why we definitely need more loyalty to be given out to players. My final thoughts on this is that, you know, it's not good. It's something, you know, this is one of the many reasons why I just don't get interested with Alliance Wars, especially when it comes to the stress of dying. If you die in Alliance Wars, affected by some of the things that are in this game, based on performance issues, based on several things, and even if you're having a bad day at the office and you kind of completely mess up, you do feel punished. This is another kind of way of feeling extra punished as a result. And it just would be nice to see, like, okay, well, either take 1-0 off of the cost of some of these things in the loyalty store, or it's going to be a case of just revert back to the old. The old worked. Why the new? The new don't be working too well, and it kind of ruffles Jimmy's. Why, Kabam? Why would you want to ruffle Jimmy's with the game? It's and the people, the nice people that play the game. Why do these things? Why do these things? So yeah, taking away some positives. Glory store, season rewards. People's interest in Alliance War seasons now. And the bad is that you know, it would be really welcome for Kabam to revisit this and go, do you know what? We throw it out there. Players weren't interested. Didn't like it. Didn't think it was very good. We're not giving out that much loyalty to players. It don't work. So we're going to pull it. Please consider that, Kabam. Please look into it. But in any case, that has been the video. What are your thoughts on the current situation? And we'll have some updates on what Kabam have said in response in tomorrow's MCN show. But thanks everybody for watching. Make sure as well to check out some other content which will be located on screen right now. And we've got some fun crystal openings and a 7.4.3 100% guide coming out later today. Cheers everybody. Bye bye.